Okay, so this is gonna be another tired guide. This is early in the morning of day 3, just after day 2. I was gonna put this out last night, but I was extremely tired, so I went to bed, and now I've woken up a little early to get this out quickly. But going into the phase 2 to phase 3 transition, here you'll have the absolute zero cast bar. The boss will need to be below 20%, or else you will enrage. Do be sure to have some mid shields, everything on this raid wide, as it will deal a decent chunk of damage and can catch parties off guard and kill 1 to 2 players if not taken seriously. After the raid wide goes off, be sure to scoot into the middle because the boss will then have this golden glow and knock players back a decent distance and can wall players if they are too far back. So do respect this. The places where you want to get knocked back is at the locked spots. We do have the ranges all at the intercardinals and the melees on the cardinals. We have swapped our tank with our melee so that we have a split of color buddies where we have 1 support and 1 DPS in every color buddies to help with defeating the crystals. So upon crystals all spawning, you'll be able to see that all the lights have spawned, and then you will see that you're able to target all the crystals. You do not want to kill the dark crystals as they are effective on helping Gaia power up so that she can deal damage to the ice veil. She'll deal approximately 50% of the damage. So you'll want to do damage to the light crystals. The range jobs will want to make sure that the closest players to the dark crystals and they're baiting proteans away from everybody, including the crystals and the ice veil in the middle. If any of them are hit with it, it'll apply a damage down to players, and if it hits any of the crystals of light or the ice veil in the middle, it'll apply a vuln up stack or vuln down stack, so that it will take extremely reduced damage from any attacks. So your goal here is to just constantly be baiting stuff and destroying crystals. It's legitimately just a game of dodging left and right and destroying crystals. There will be 2-minute burst here, so you want to get rid of these as fast as possible. It is recommended, like if you want to bring some pots over. Support jobs will usually all bring pots over to help like getting rid of their crystals, because the faster you get rid of the crystals, the faster you can start hitting in the middle. So here we are still LBing the middle to help out with the DPS check, as you can see. The goal for this is recommended that if you want to start removing LB, from what I've seen and what I would recommend and what we're currently working towards, is that when the ice veil becomes targetable, you will want the cast bar to be around the N, the E to N, and endless. So you just need to make sure you get your DPS up so that if you want to actually take out the LB, that you can do it. So on this pull, you can see that we got it to the D roughly in endless. So we want to be a little bit faster so that we can have it at the end and easily be able to make it out without the LB, so that we can start removing that and have the LB in future phases. But upon doing that, you will see that the LB would do roughly about 30% of the ice veil's damage. Roughly around 30, it's like 33-ish%. And then once you get it under 50, you pretty much are done with this check, because Gaia, with leaving all the crystals alive, she will then charge up, and right before this cast bar completely expires, Gaia will do exactly 50% of the boss's HP bar and help you finish the mechanic off. And upon doing that, you'll be going into phase 2 or phase 3. But to make sure is to put more mitts and shields right here, because you will take one last raid wide from range shooting Gaia, and this can execute players if you're not wary of it. So do make sure you have shields and mitts for this. It does not need to be tons of mitts or anything, but just a little bit of shields and mitts so that you don't die to junction. Because it does do a decent chunk of damage, as it brought me down to 33k. So one thing to notate and to look out for is we do actually happen to have a bug in this fight. With whatever happens, I don't know what causes it, but something to be aware of for all jobs, especially the range jobs, as this can heavily impact them, is that when you're baiting proteans, sometimes this ice effect on the map will cover the proteans and can cover the AoEs, hiding them underneath the ice effect that's actively on the map. So this is something you actually have to be a lookout on for, because if you're not wary of it, you can end up dying to this. So as you can see, there is actively a red protean right below my character, but it is almost completely invisible. So upon noticing this, the remainder of your mechanic will all be hidden underneath the ice effect. And with this, you will need to completely lock in and focus, as all the proteans will be extremely, extremely faint, and you would need to make sure that you don't accidentally get hit by any of these, as these will leave you with the damage down, if not kill you. So just be very careful of this. And also then once again, be sure not to bait these invisible proteans back into the boss or any of the crystals, as you do not want to apply the buff, the defensive buff to them.
You resist. Then we shall unleash the light within. No, I won't let you.
Unleash the light within.
Reen! She won't last much longer.
What if you just didn't break the ice then?
Hold on, Reen! My power surges!
You took your star? Oh, you took off your star.
You made it without the star, man.
Reen,
I don't know.
are you alright?
Shit, don't need the star, bro.
I am thanks to you, Gaia.
Dude, imagine if you can do like in DSR and have macros, star, and lord.
I don't know what you're talking about. See 8 star.
I am Logrith, servant of Zodiac.
Yeah, I mean, imagine
I shall
that.
restore the power of darkness to the star. Past